Massive update for the XRP community, as today we are going to show you documents from both the Federal Reserve and the United States government highlighting how products like XRP are going to be leveraged in the new era of digital finance. Hello and welcome back to Good Evening Crypto, your favorite crypto news related channel. If you enjoy this type of content, smash that like button as well as subscribe to the brand new Good Evening Crypto channel. Now, this is an update we just got from the Federal Reserve in regards to ISO implementation, which is scheduled for July 14th. And here's the direct statement. The FRS has decided to reschedule the Fedwire Fund services of ISO implementation from March 10th to July 14th. Well, today we can officially confirm that the Federal Reserve is scheduled to implement ISO services. Let's break down why that's important. For a long time, crypto investors have been speculating which blockchain products are going to benefit off the implementation of the ISO messaging standard. Well, there's only a couple of tokens that are traditionally considered ISO compliant. These are tokens like XLM, XRP, and of course, CHAINLINK, which we will be covering later on in today's episode. Products and services that are ISO compliant may offer long-term potential due to their focus on institutional adoption and integration with traditional financial systems. This means that after regulation is passed inside the United States, there's only going to be a handful of projects that are truly ISO compliant, offering a way for traditional companies to improve their existing systems by implementing blockchain services, just like you're seeing here. With the adoption of these new ISO protocols, there's only going to be a couple of blockchains that stand out from the rest of the market. These are going to be considered ISO compliant tokens based inside the United States. And once we see this new capital beginning to enter some of our favorite projects, this leads us to the logical conclusion that many of our favorite projects are about to reach new all-time high. Using XRP as an example, this is an asset that is currently trading at levels that it was nearly 8 years ago, as back in 2017, the XRP asset was trading as high as $3.84 on exchanges. This is back in an environment pre-regulation, pre-institutional adoption, and most importantly, pre-crypto clarity inside the United States. Now we are looking at a chart for XRP where the value is trading around $2.20, but many are estimating this is a double-digit asset ready to break all-time high and enter price levels we have never seen before. Now, Ripple is also planning to capitalize on this ISO implementation. They have already implemented ISO messaging standards to the RippleNet payment system. This means that institutions can tap into RippleNet payments, being allowed to access the technology of the XRP blockchain while receiving the protections of the traditional banking system. And once these ISO protocols are fully implemented starting July 14th here, I believe it's blockchain projects like XRP that are going to begin experiencing growth like we have never seen before. And it's not just the United States that's excited about blockchain technology. Here we have a document from the European Central Bank that reveals the XRP ledger as the backbone for Axology's distributed ledger technology. XRP is powering the future of finance, and soon it will be powering institutions all across the world. And Ripple has been very persistent in bringing traditional financial technology companies into the blockchain space, and it starts with their acquisition of Hidden Road. I'm going to play a short video from XRP ETF issuer Sal Gilberti telling us how Ripple and XRP are set to redefine companies all across the world.
But what we know about it is they bought a company called Hidden Road, used by a lot of hedge funds and traders and people to basically it's a prime broker. Okay, to clear trades and settle trades. So just think about being able to near instantaneously turn one asset into another asset, be it dollars into a foreign currency or any sort of currency, dollars or other currencies into a commodity. All that stuff eventually is going to end up on the blockchain. All those transactions are going to end up on the blockchain. And XRP is the token. And again, they've got a stable coin that is necessary for making these things happen. All of that is happening behind the scenes. It's complicated. It's hard to describe, but I can tell you that it's here and it's working. It's being used aggressively in Asia. The only reason it wasn't used and being adopted faster in the US is because of the uncertainty of regulations and punishment. Quite frankly, banks were afraid of being punished for stepping into the crypto world where they couldn't. As that goes away, and we have clarity in regulation and permissions of what people can do, you're going to see rapid adoption of it's a better technology. Why take 2 or 3 days to settle something when you can settle it in seconds? That doesn't make any sense if you don't do that. The only thing preventing people from doing that is, number one, regulations. You can't be afraid. And number two, because those regulations are there and people are afraid, is being adopted slowly, so the build out is slow. Okay, but everything's going to ramp up and go much quicker than it has. It's not going to be an overnight change, but it is a change that is happening now, and that the rate of change will accelerate, I believe.
And that's what keeps me excited about Ripple and XRP, is that they're at the forefront of this technological evolution where regular everyday companies are going to begin leveraging blockchain to improve their existing business models. Now let's discuss how this is set to impact XRP investors. We are looking at a $2.20 XRP today without tokenized assets, without ETFs, without stablecoin regulation, and without a market structure bill. When all of these different catalysts occur between now and the end of 2025, we are going to see Wall Street start buying up XRP in a way that we have never seen before. And it's just one of the reasons that I believe several crypto analysts are predicting that assets like XRP will continue to outperform even the leaders in the digital asset space. So live chat, I would love to hear ones if you believe XRP breaks all-time high in the summer of 2025. Twos in chat if you simply think that does not happen. If you're enjoying this content, smash that like button and be sure to subscribe to this brand new channel. With all these different Wall Street companies beginning to buy altcoins in a way that we have never seen before, we can predict that hundreds of billions of dollars worth of new demand from these institutions are going to impact the price of XRP. Here's a great example of how companies like BlackRock have already changed the bull market for some of our favorite assets. In the last 12 months, BlackRock has scooped up over 3% circulating supply to date. That means in the first 12 months of BlackRock offering an ETF product, they were able to accumulate over $70 billion worth of Bitcoin. If we see even 10% of this demand for an asset like XRP, that could dramatically change some of the price targets that many analysts have been predicting. And what do we know for sure? There is over 19 different XRP ETF applications sitting at the SEC waiting approval, with over $2 trillion worth of asset managers ready to begin offering XRP to their clients this year. And it's not only institutions that are excited about buying XRP, as the number of XRP wallets has reached an all-time high this year, with over 7.1 million wallets now holding XRP. That's the highest it's ever been in its 12-year history. So as this digital asset class evolves, it's the regulated projects that survive United States regulation that I believe will have the highest return on investment over the long term. And this is a great example, as Chainlink has partnered with MasterCard to enable 3 billion cardholders to purchase crypto directly on chain, meaning that everyday civilians are now going to be leveraging blockchain for everyday purchases. And for this reason, we have to ask ourselves, should we even be selling our XRP? So with the largest payment providers on the planet now beginning to leverage blockchain technology, I think it's our job to figure out which of these projects will survive. We are going to see a capital market explosion like we have never seen before come into many of our favorite digital assets. Chainlink, AVAX, Stellar, and of course XRP are set to be utilized by the largest financial institutions in America, increasing the price of these assets. And with Wall Street investors on the precipice of purchasing these assets in a way that we have never seen before, I'm going to show you a brief clip from a Wall Street investor explaining how they're more optimistic on altcoins than they are on Bitcoin.
Everything, but most things that are top 20 we're constructive on. We're very constructive on Bitcoin, but there's a few that we believe that will outperform Bitcoin this year, such as XRP, SWI, and even Sol. I'm more constructive on some of the larger cap cryptocurrencies like SUI and Solana and XRP. Even Litecoin and HBAR, I think, are going to be have really good possibilities of making it.
So are you comfortable saying pretty much all of those will have 10% upside?
Oh, I think most of these will double this year.
That is from a Wall Street investor himself, letting the world know that many of our favorite crypto assets are about to double in value. So with all these positive catalysts coming in the calendar year of 2025, whether it's Wall Street adoption, crypto regulation, or the implementation of blockchain technology in order to improve existing business systems, that leads me to believe we are looking at an asset class that is extremely undervalued today. Whether it's a project like XRP, HBAR, or Chainlink, many of these projects are pre-utilization, meaning the largest companies on the planet are inevitably going to be leveraging this blockchain technology, and all of our listeners are here before that very moment. So I believe the logical question that we have to ask ourselves as regular retail investors is, why shouldn't I be purchasing as much of this asset as possible? As this asset class continues to grow and expand, it is going to be very difficult for regular retail investors to accrue meaningful portfolios during a crypto bull market. A great example of this, if XRP reaches $10, then $100 only gets you 10 XRP. At a simple $2 XRP price, $100 gets you 50 units of XRP, and nobody knows the true value of that investment over the long term. And this isn't just my opinion. Let's listen to SEC Chairman Paul Atkins tell us how he is set to make America the crypto capital of the world.
A top priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, pragmatic and principled approach, we will work to ensure that the United States is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and to do business. So, Mr.
And that is just one of many examples of how the United States has completely flipped the script on crypto investors. And that is just one example of how America is set to become the crypto capital of the world. With leadership like Donald Trump and Paul Atkins, we are not only going to see pro-crypto policies come to fruition inside the United States, there is going to be an incentive for companies to begin adopting this technology and use it to their own advantage. Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, also agrees crypto is here to stay.
Banks get to decide who their customers are. That's not our decision. Banks are free to provide banking services to the crypto industry, to crypto companies, and banks are also free to conduct crypto activities as long as they do so in a way that is, protective of safety and soundness.
So now our listeners can fully understand how we are on the precipice of creating history in the digital asset space. Whether it's the United States government, the Federal Reserve, or the largest financial institutions on the planet, all of these major players are not only moving into the digital asset space, they're excited about many of our favorite blockchain products. We even had the sitting president tweet about XRP, Cardano, and Solana just a few months ago. So what does this tell me? As a regular retail investor, it is our job to not be scared out of this market, not be bored by sideways trading action, but instead double down on the projects we understand, letting the world know that crypto is here to stay. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the brand new Good Evening Crypto channel. I'd love to hear, what is your peak 2025 XRP price prediction? Comment underneath the video, and we'll see you all in the next one.